Do it. This guy has been so good on this champion. Backs against the wall. You need to force game 5. Put Guwon on the Fury. And let the rest be what it be, Jbetto.
Alright, well this is... a bit of a statement from Guwon. I think Xiaohao's been really giving him the hands this series. Kind of walking all over Guwon. So for Guwon to first pick this Nefiri on, you know, B1 technically. Rumble's been let through, of course. So ZDZ will swipe that up for himself. Do you want to go a jungle answer? Do you want to go a mid laner here? Looks like, at least from the hovering, it's going to be carry jungle versus carry jungle. Instead, it's the Pantheon to roam up to this Rumble. Could just be Caitlyn Lux. Could just be Caitlyn Nico. Yeah. Lock in a really strong bot lane.
Remember what happened the last time Guwon's Nefiri took on a Pantheon? It was Monkey, and he put him in the dirt. He left this man homeless, nowhere to go, and the global strategy of Team WE had fallen apart. So NIP, as you mentioned, going to go with that strong bot lane. This is something that they sorely needed because they have been getting that work from Leave and Zhuo. For as much as Xiaohao has done to Guwon, Leave and Zhuo have done about the same to Assum and Zhuo. And if they can't win with this lane, I don't know if they're going to win with any of them. Cassante ban coming through, not only good into Rumble, but that leaves out some of the major Hoya picks. Nara's gone, Renekton's gone, Rumble's gone, Sion's gone, Jace is gone, Cassante, the Varus. What do you have? We need Hoya to really dig even deeper than he already has with his champion picks in the split. And if things go well for NIP, he might have to do it again.
Camille support ban here, actually, from NIP. So this is a really precarious situation EDG are in. If Ziggs goes bot, and you pick a engage support or even a range to live through this bot lane, what are you picking mid? Because no Tristana. There's no Yone that's been banned. What else AD do we have in mid? Are we going back and playing Corki in mid? If it's Ziggs in mid, what are we picking into this bot lane duo that lives? There's no Ashe, there's no Jhin, there's no Ezreal, there's no Varus. You're, in my opinion, in a really big corner here. Maokai support might be the option here, unless it's Pantheon support with the Ziggs and a Maokai jungle angle. But then still, what are we picking in mid? Looks like it might be this engaged support Leona.
This makes sense.
Gonna save mid for last pick counter pick so we can at least see the matchup. But now the question is it a Galio? I think this is a great Galio game if Hoya can play the Galio. So that would make sense. Anivia is an answer into Rumble, but his Anivia this split so far has been not super successful. Might just end up having to be the Ornn, so we need a ton of magic damage coming from Kair in this mid lane.
Do we? We have plenty of magic damage elsewhere. You've got the Ziggs, you've got the Rumble. Oh, I'm sorry. Said Kair. I misheard you. I thought you said Sinian for some reason. Listen, it is early where I'm at, and I had a full work day today. We have Talia being hovered out here, and it is going to be locked in. So we've got some semi-global here coming out for Kair. If you front to back, it should be pretty okay. Wait a minute, is this Vayne bot lane?
Mid. And it's
this was surely it would have to be, right? There's no way you're putting Vayne bot lane into a Kate Lux. That is just asinine, right?
Yeah, you'd lose the game. That's not possible. It has to be Vayne into Ornn, Rumble into mid against the Talia. Oh baby, EDG. I said NIP needed to have something up their sleeve. They do bring out the Caitlyn Lux that we've been seeing come back and the Nefiri, but EDG taking a book out of Gen G, taking a page out of Gen G's book with this Rumble mid lane and the Vayne top swap.
They may have just taken the whole damn book, Jbetto, to be quite honest with you. All right, this is big. Clearly, you know a little bit more ball than I do with this Rumble mid. What are you thinking of when you think of this matchup up against the Talia, but also having to deal with the pressure that Guwon's Nefiri can put down? What does Sinian need to succeed?
So you're pretty tanky on the pick by itself, so there's that. But you have so much wave clear that you can kind of just do whatever you want and roam around, and eventually you'll be able to just solo kill the Talia on your own. Mostly, though, this lane is, like, this swap is to get the Vayne into the Ornn, because that's so much more winning. And now, again, NIP in the top lane are in an uncomfortable position. I think Guwon has to go completely nuclear this game alongside his bot lane if NIP have any chance of winning this series. This game.
This is the pick to do it on, Jbetto. This Neferi that he's been so good on, has been able to dictate tempo on. You've got the strong bot lane like you've wanted. We talked about at the end of Game 3. This is exactly what NIP needs to succeed. This is the bread and butter that has been so good for them throughout the split. They have finally drafted it for themselves. If you can't get it done here, you're not going to get it done anywhere, and you deserve Group Nirvana. Game 4 starting now.
All right. A little bit of some early chunk damage, but won't mean a whole lot. See these runes of the Rumble mid. Pretty normal. Aggressive runes, Scorch, and the Assum, whatever it's called, the one that makes you do more damage with your ult. And some Resolve first wind. Sorry, second wind. First wind? I mean, there was a first wind. Definitely not in the rune page, but there once was a first wind.
Was?
Well, the name Second Wind indicates that there was a first wind, you know?
Thought that's what you meant. I was like, I don't know, Jbetto. I've been playing League since 2012. And I ain't never heard of no first wind. Yeah, I'm an unk. I'm an unk, brother. Very, very old. That's why I was momentarily confused in the draft.
So, we spoke last game about the whole Lord of the Rings thing. I don't want to rehash that. But is there anything more I need to know about you? You know, like I feel... I don't know. I don't trust you anymore.
I mean, I'm not allowed in Australia.
That is true. We've spoken about this before.
Oh, yeah, because that's the easiest thing to talk about because you're Australian. That one's not my fault.
No.
Seeing Xiaohao start to walk around here. It was a good ward by Assum and Zhuo. But a flash could really ruin it already.
Spotted.
Net used,
Nice
heal as well as he pokes his head.
Yep. I mean, the Kate Lux lanes all the time, dictated by how long Caitlyn Lux can be left alone. And that ward will thwart the first gank. Means that Guwon also now pathing down to the bot side will be spotted on this ward. So this could allow Xiaohao to just go for top camps, but no, he's pathing back down to bot to cover. And there's
he hopped
TP
over the wall
from the Ziggs.
All right, this could go really bad. Guwon took a turret shot. They have no idea that Xiaohao is coming down. And Zhuo is way too bold to be walking up like that without Guwon knowing something's up. He's forced to flash away.
It's a great cover, but I think that if Guwon had based... maybe the NIP don't know that the ward's there, but if he had walked over the ward and then based and then gone topside, he could have done his entire topside and then maybe invaded and got a camp lead, but instead... You end up, this is the last time Rumble mid was played in the LPL specifically, 1900 days ago. RNG vs ES. Both teams don't exist anymore.
Damn. I mean, you're right. Why'd you have to put it like that?
Sometimes you just gotta, gotta rip the band-aid off.
That is true.
Back though. 2021.
Yeah, that's a long time now. I mean, I initially thought that wasn't that long ago, but... Man, that 1900 days really puts it in perspective, man. That is, the lost years for various reasons.
Yeah, that's true.
Know.
I think there was one the other day that was like 4,000 days. It was like 2015 or something. Something hadn't been picked since. That might have been in the LCK. I can't remember, but I remember seeing that.
I might have remembered that game.
And thinking, what?
Yeah, exactly. Guwon finishing up these Krugs up on the top side here. Looks like he's going to head into his red buff next. Xiaohao had picked up the Scuttle Crab is moving into his topside jungle, so a little bit of a delay on these junglers after the bot lane scuffle, we'll call it. Does mean that Xiaohao could take him a little bit longer to get to level 6. So any speed bump like that for those kind of champions is always welcome. CDZ will not take a turret shot as he wisely walks out. So far, so calm for this early game, but awesome. He's already built a 300 gold lead over lead.
So essentially, this comp in teamfights is going to function as if Rumble was top and Ziggs was mid, because if you get through the lanes, you've got an engage with the Pantheon and the Leona, you've got, range with the Ziggs as a mage, and then you've got this ADC, like late game hyper carry in Vayne. but the lanes themselves feel very awkward because, you know, you've got Rumble mid into Talia, you've got the Vayne into the Ornn, which is very difficult for the Ornn to play, as any top lane player will tell you. In fact, it's so difficult that he's gotten not first strike, the book, Unsealed Spellbook, to swap over and be more impactful in the team fights. Doesn't want to have, or has no possible chance of stacking Grasp. The other runes aren't very impactful. Guwon again hovering down the bot side to allow Assum and Zhuo to play isolated, as he hovers mid for a gank, but there is a ward, so Xinyan should be fine here. Dragon being started up by Guwon should be taken uncontested.
It's a smart move by Hoya. You gotta give it a shot. You get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. So leveraging this early power, as you just mentioned, of the spot lane to go secure this dragon. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that even though the comp is going to function very similarly, even though we have some members out of position, I think it's going to be a little bit harder for Rumble to complete his role quest. I mean, you know, you aren't really dealing nearly as much damage because you are this melee into the range.
Yep. Has a decent amount of poke with the E, but yeah, absolutely. Tilly can be pretty oppressive, especially when she gets points in Q. For at least chipping down health bars. I think that both teams have superb late game. Ornn scales incredibly well. Nefiri scales really well. Caitlyn's got a really scary late game, and Talia, when she gets like the cooldowns, you can just permanently cast Q. Also pretty good late game. However, enemy team has really good engage, and then a Ziggs Rumble Vayne. So this is going to come down to execution for sure. How this mid game goes, if any leads go one way or the other. How big a lead can Assum and Zhuo get through this early game before, you know, the Caitlyn inevitable fall off in the mid game before she re-peaks back in the mid game. I like how Leave has picked the ward to teleport to and not the tower. Was that like an on-purpose decision, or maybe it was because of the trap?
Could be because of the trap. Could be just because it might have been closer to his cursor at the time. You know, efficiency is really important, Jbetto. 40 seconds until these grubs are up. With a Ziggs on your team, you're going to be doing a lot of sieging. With a Caitlyn Lux, you're also going to be doing a lot of sieging. You already see the pings headed up there. Jbetto, it looks like we might see fireworks around the grubs in 25 seconds.
Yeah, you can really see how much NIP value these grubs sending their bot lane. Last year and the year before, we saw a ton of lane swaps, and I know that this is a matchup that you would have lane swapped away from, and why we didn't see any Vayne really for those 2 years, and now we're seeing more of it because you want to stay in lane. This is not to avoid the lane as much, it's to get the grubs, like you were talking about. This is a really important grubs. In fact, we might even see a like 8-minute 5v5 because of how important the grubs are this game.
I think we're going to be seeing it, Jbetto. We got a lot of good teamfight ultimates over on the side of NIP. A lot of seismic shove. Xinyan going to be targeted out. Lux ultimate coming through. He goes down. It's first blood over to the Lux. Carrot desperately trying to get away from Zhuo. Backside of the fight, Hoya has kept Xiaohao at bay. Leave not really doing a whole lot, but the bouncing bomb lands on Carrot. Wei's got to flash away. Hoya with a big knockup, and ZDZ's trying to cook in the middle of the fight now, but there's a lot of members near him. Gets the condemn, forces the cleanse, looking for a little bit more. Rough and tumbling around. Carrot gets hit by the bouncing bomb, and Leave is able to get the kill on the way out. Ace in the hole, didn't quite get anything more. Seeing some recalls, and in the end, Jbetto, a lot of damage traded out, but a 1-for-1, and the grubs are all still there.
Yeah, excellent fight start from NIP with Hoya in the bush. Great CC, layering from Care, and Guwon can do so much damage. Zhuo layers in the final spark as well. But NIP don't have quite enough damage to fully kill ZDZ and avert the range that Leave has. Guwon just gets one grub, be able to hop out of there as ZDZ has come back, and Zhuo has also come back. So 2 grubs to EDG, NIP got 1. They also got the first dragon before that, but really it's the lead on ZDZ that's the thing keeping EDG happy about this position.
I don't know, Jbetto. I think they're very happy about the fact that that fight was a 1-for-1, and they took 2 grubs to deny 3 grubs from this Caitlyn Lux that is you know, usually a terror that goes and takes out the turret and then moves into mid lane. I think that's absolutely huge to slow down what this NIP comp wants to do.
Guwon found his blast cannon, that's okay. Hovering here. Potential dive timer for Xiaohao to be there. Obviously, we know he isn't. Also taking a... Did he flash? Did he fat finger his flash?
He definitely did. He definitely did. Oh no.
That's really
That's
bad.
Huge. That, I mean...
He saw it too. I'm pretty sure ZDZ saw it too.
Typically, you get nerves when you're playing on stage. You're playing at the facility right now. I mean, that is
maybe
tough.
someone pressed
I
it
wonder if it's gonna matter.
For him.
Somebody pressed it for him?
Yeah, one of the coaches came over and was like, haha, look at this, and then just pressed F.
Dude, you must flash right here. Crab
That's pretty awful. But
secured here for NIP. I mean, they could be relevant for this dragon that's gonna be up in 5 seconds.
Yeah, let's hope that that flash doesn't matter for Guwon, because not really a whole lot to say about it. He just accidentally flashed while basing in a brush. Didn't even, you know, fail flash or anything. Just a clean and simple fat finger. That's what it looks like, at least. Caitlyn around a dragon first is always a good sign. Doesn't have a great trap wall. EDG looking to walk in.
It's Nyun trying to get in as well. The blast plant should be able to reposition the rest of NIP over. Dragon will be secured by NIP. Guwon taken to half HP, but no worse for wear. And they're not really missing that flash too much right about now.
Yeah. This should mean that the flash doesn't really matter that much, as that was kind of the important fight that needed to happen. EDG don't feel comfortable. I guess Ornn has the TP, aware that Hoya can pull it at any point, and ZDZ would need to get, like, most likely under tower to get Condemn off to cancel the TP, and then maybe you're in a risk of getting all-in on, you know, the other side. I was a bit surprised, to be honest. EDG don't try to go in for more, because Mega Inferno Bomb and Pantheon Q Smite, like, if you can sync up the damage there, is a ton of secure potential. And NIP weren't even really in a great position to protect Guwon if that did happen. Xiaohao goes for little chickens invades. He's a little hungry, gets some nuggets. I'm hungry too, to be honest. Chicken nuggets sounds pretty good.
Yes. Gonna be able to secure all that. NIP gonna send their bot lane up top to try to slow the onslaught of this Vayne, who's nearly 1,000 gold up. Just a couple of moments ago, Assum was down in gold to leave. Now, Assum did complete his bot lane quest, and that's the difference. Hold on, Kara's getting a full engage on. They throw everything at him and make it look easy.
Yeah. Sometimes the kitchen sink works. Maybe a little too much, but get the kill. And Xiaohao gets out for free. It's a very nice punish onto Care, who still has no flash. It's coming up pretty soon. So, obviously have that timed to perfection. Guwon's flash is coming up in about another minute and a half, maybe. So, yeah, that flash will, fortunately for NIP, not get punished. First item's getting completed pretty much across the board. This is the Cyclo Sword that I was talking about. Now, does the extra damage on abilities as well, and I will check. I believe it also had changes. So it got a price increase of 100 gold on this patch, but obviously not enough to pull it away from being strong. Care actually hovering with Zhuo behind. He's on a flank here. Guwon's here too. There's a 4-man dive.
Oh yeah, you have to make something happen at this point. Guwon going to be spotted out by this ward. So NIP are just going to work on this turret. But their early game has not gone according to plan, Jbetto. Care died twice, obviously, in that fight, but then that play they made mid. Assum and Zhuo, again, once Leave completes his quest, that gold lead is going to be evened up again. This Caitlyn Lux has not had the intended effect that you were looking for. We have a root down, Call the Forge God coming in as well. They're looking for Zhuo, who flashes over the wall. Hoya going to front line a little bit, but he's going to charge out of there and be condemned a little bit further as well. 45 seconds until the Herald, but means that EDG can recall and get back out on the map.
Yep, Call the Forge God will be down though, but Zhuo has no flash, so potential angle for a catch, as the Mega Inferno Bomb will be used on the top side to clear out the wave, and Xinyan will be pushing down the bottom lane. He does have TP, so again, this functions almost identically to how it would in top.
Nobody's
Herald up
answering.
Yeah, this is going to go for pretty much for free with those 2 grubs, maybe on the next wave. As like you said, no one is answering. And with Care basing, maybe he has boots finished here. NIP aren't even in a great position to start up this Herald, whereas EDG are. There's a TP from Care now to the bot lane, so Sunyan can just easily TP to mid lane or to top if he needs to, or he could even just walk his way to the Herald, take a numbers advantageous fight, and then TP down bot if he needs to.
Big chunk coming out, forces the exhaust out of Hoya. Remember, he's got Summoner Spellbook. Teleport coming in from Sinyan. He's going to try to join for this Herald fight. 6,000 HP and getting lower. Care's on the way. Does have that Weaver's Wall available. Seeing a teleport coming from Hoya. 3,000 HP, getting lower. Secured by EDG. Zhuo got locked up. Are they going to find anything more? Final Spark coming through, not a whole lot of damage. Zhuo going to get targeted out. The Hound's pursuit. They get the kill that they're looking for. Will NIP be able to find more? Not looking likely.
Now Xiaohao stuck under this tower, but should be able to get escorted out with his team. I mean, that's the punish on the no flash on Leona. So well played. NIP rock up a little bit late for the Herald, but they do end up getting the kill, and some base cancels here. If NIP can now transition this over towards the Dragon, they'll have good position around this Soul Point, but a little bit slow. EDG are already out back on the map. And again, Pantheon Q Smite, very hard to secure against.
NIP got that first turret. Was looking unlikely that they would. But now at this point in the game, 16.5 minutes in, they're not down 1,500 gold. The gold is even. They were down about 1,000, but they've been able to pull it back. So good on NIP here. They've wrestled positioning back for this Dragon. I think EDG are ready to commit to a full fight. We're going to see the Herald get dropped down. You have to be very aware of these bouncing bombs from Leave. If you land a couple of them, the damage will stack up pretty quickly.
Yep, could be a combat Herald. Will flash in.
Xiaohao goes in. Care getting tagged up by that Equalizer. I knew about, we'll call it 70% HP. Awesome. Got chunked a little bit too. This Herald is not going to get a charge off. EDG do have positioning on the Dragon. It appears they have started up, and now Leave continuing to throw these bouncing bombs, really just looking for Hoya for the moment. NIP have decided that they might not be too interested. They're going to clear the wave. Awesome has no net, and now they're going to head down here. So the Dragon still really healthy. All the Forge God coming through. Knocks up 3 members. Final Spark is there. CDZ off on the side, looking for Care and for Zhuo. Care goes down. Zhuo is going to be the next target. Awesome flashes, cleanses away, but is on the outskirts of the fight. It's Hoya and Guwon who have to do something. Guwon looking for Sinian. Big damage in, but he's chunked low and goes down. It's Awesome and Hoya. It's a double kill for ZDZ. Make it a triple kill for ZDZ as EDG put an exclamation point on the fight. The Dragon is theirs. The stacking broken.
Yep, NIP around the Dragon first. With the Herald usage in mid and the all-in onto Care. Means that EDG get positions around the Dragon. Hoya swapped over to Smite.
All right, let's see if Hoya can sneak this one away. Never mind, I said it was secured. But no, Hoya makes the big play to steal it away. And NIP are now on Soul Point.
Hell yeah, baby. Jungling on. Outsmites Pantheon 2 with a 600 smite? That's absurd. Did Xiaohao not have his? Why didn't he smite? Anyway, so NIP need to force this to get positions back into the Dragon, but ZDZ unchecked in the backline does so much damage. Great flash, dodges away from the shove, kills Zhuo. The health that Zhuo is at when he dies, that is a lot of damage, a lot of burst. Ends up getting a triple kill towards the end here. I thought it was maybe going to be more, but ends up not being. And then Hoya, let's have a look. So the smite is down. Xiaohao doesn't have it at the time. Maybe it was just up or not up. I assume it must not have been up because they went to turn onto Hoya. Really nice smite. That puts NIP on Soul Point.
This is very much unlike the situation that happened to NIP earlier where it was, you know, lackadaisical play on the side of NIP to allow Xiaohao to get a steal. This time around, I think it's just, you kind of forgot that Hoya could go and do that with the Summoner Spellbook.
Yeah. I will say, feel really bad for Hoya because people like Leave, Xiaohao, Assum have 2 items, and Hoya doesn't even have 1 completed item. I know the reason for why he does, because of his build
He's got the
path.
holy trinity of items.
Yeah, but...
He's got your health, he's got your armor, he's got your MR. What more do you want, Jbetto?
And a little bit of burn to back it up.
Yes,
but,
sir.
yeah, pretty miserable position for this Ornn to be in. He's just summoned a spellbook. It's actually crazy that he gets the most value he possibly can get in a really weak position where, like, he doesn't have a tanky rune, he doesn't have any completed items, he just has spellbook, and he gets 100% value out of it. CDC still with this massive lead. Most of the gold lead, in fact, for EDG. A little bit on Sun Yan in this mid lane. Guwon around the corner looking for a bait.
While Hoya has a problem with his items, he's got a problem in the top lane with ZDZ. ZDZ currently in a 3v1, but he manages to lift. The turnaround is here. So is Xiaohao. Leave from downtown helps. And ZDZ and the rest of EDG lay waste to NIP in the top side.
I mean, that's going to be Baron, most likely. Guwon is very low. Looks like ZDZ is basing. He does have the free teleport. So in a position where NIP think they have the catch, but it's actually EDG that have a bait set up. Again, NIP have Soul Point. You don't need to be doing this. They feel the need to try to find a pick onto ZDZ. Assum does a lot of damage, but he's bumped in.
Leave! What a play! The satchel charge was damn perfect. Guwon looking to slide in. Final spark goes through. Guwon wants to keep this leash. Certainly not. Care teleported in. Hang on.
Okay.
NIP are going to hop out. Baron will reset. So EDG get another kill. But the Baron does not go down, Jbetto. A minute and 30 seconds for a date with Destiny, perhaps. NIP need this soul.
Yeah, they do. Guwon heals up enough. Keb TP's back onto the map, and Hoya, while he didn't TP himself, but he did have TP. So EDG get a bit scared there. Good sacrifice. Caitlyn walks up. Assum dies. It looks bad, but ends up being exactly what NIP need. Just enough time for EDG to pull off of the Baron. Guwon nearly gets caught, but has his dash back up in time, or his jump, I guess, back up in time to get over the wall. 50 seconds on this soul for NIP. They are down flash on Guwon, on Assum and Hoya, although those flashes are about to tick up, but they need position around the dragon. Now, they could choose to give it and threaten the Baron, sweep out some vision. They don't do it incredibly fast, and I think this is scary because of the Mega Inferno Bomb, the Equalizer, and again, the Pantheon, who has a really good Q smite. Hoya can't swap over to Spellbook to get a higher smite. Care on the split push, but NIP now stuck under their tower. No player anywhere.
Final spark going to be used to help clear out that wave. 10 seconds until this dragon is up, Jbetto. ZDZ, 2,500 gold lead on his lane opponent, is most of EDG's lead right now. But if there's anything that we know, it's that EDG has had moments where they have spontaneously combusted and have put themselves in not so great of a spot. NIP wisely realizing that Caitlyn is in the middle of her power trough. You do not want to try to fight or force anything. They will take a turret on the top side. The gold lead will shrink to about 2,000, give or take a couple hundred. And for the moment, EDG break the stacking. We'll go at it in 5 more minutes.
Yep, conservative decision. Have the option to maybe threaten the Baron, but again, there's so many tools at EDG's disposal that can make the fight impossible, can cost NIP to give over the dragon, that can make EDG's chase onto NIP after the Baron's been taken. Very scary. So it'll just be the dragon given over. It's only 1 to EDG. NIP choosing to, like you say, try to avoid the lack in power that Assum is at right now. 4 items, Caitlyn would be great. I don't know if we're going to get there in time for this next dragon, but 3 would still be nice, and positions around this next dragon. Hoya also starting to work on these upgraded items. Giving over an Infinity Edge would be great. Upgrading the Blackfire Torch would be great, and upgrading this Cyclo Sword would be really nice too. Zhuo has the Mikhails, which is also a really great pickup. This is what we saw from Carrier, who played the Lux like recently. Instead of going like a mage Lux build, you go full support Shirelias, you go the Mikhails. The damage doesn't matter anymore. It's the root you're playing for, the vision with E, and then this support build.
Mikhail's so important. Awesome could be in a little bit of trouble. Force the flash away. Make Inferno Bomb. Gets him low. Forces the heal out of Zhuo as EDG force down mid and get a lot of summoners for it.
Yeah, that's on leaves 3-item spike. They say, we send it now. Awesome loses flash, and I think that if he had cleansed and not flashed, he would have died to the damage that comes out from the Solar Flare plus the Mega Inferno Bomb. So, good choice to flash, but leave with that gold lead, utilizing it well. Is the upgraded Infinity Edge, so that's a pretty decent boon for Awesome. Looks like NIP actually are around this Baron, setting up a bait. They're not on it. Wanting EDG to walk in, though.
NIP have to be real careful. 2.5 minutes until this next dragon is up. You gotta hold out till then, and then that's when you can make your decision. Remember, if they lose here, not only will they not go into the bracket stage, which would be incredible to not have them after the split 2 that they had, but they will also be sent to Group Nirvana to live out the rest of 2026. Be a horrific result for a team that has played so well, that has taken some of the best teams that we have to offer here in the LPL to the limit. But big credit to EDG, because this is a team that we said, sometimes they just don't play as a team. Half the time, they'll have a good fight as a team, and half the time they won't. And they have played so well today. They have played to their peak today of what this team could be. You bring in the backup mid laner, Sinyan, who takes the place of Angel. He's given this team a shot in the arm. You can see that they're just playing better with him today.
Yeah, and he's confident enough to pick up the Rumble mid lane in a game 4 of a best of 5. And so far, hasn't looked too bad on it. You know, not outstanding in terms of carry, but the ults have been okay. The lane was fine. All you really need from this point onwards is, you know, he has good items. One equalizer on top of a Leona stun, on top of a Pantheon stun. And that person is, you know, half HP, maybe more. That's all Sinyan needs to do. Play this team fight really well. Don't get caught by the lack of range he has. All right, we're back here again. 50 seconds on this Soul for NIP. Awesome has 3 items. Everyone else on NIP only have 2, but relative strength to EDG. Despite the gold lead, Awesome is in a good spot. Not that far off of leave and pretty much on par with ZDZ as well.
The biggest problem is that Awesome has no flash right now, Jbetto. That is the big deal. That is something that NIP need to heavily consider, because they are one bad fight away from being sent to Group Nirvana. If EDG win the next fight, it could be another game where it's out of reach. We have seen EDG get these leads and be unable to close the door, Jbetto. In Game 2, NIP busted the door down. In Game 3, EDG was able to stave them off. One more time, they are trying, and NIP is trying to keep their foot in the door.
Well, again, it's going to be another give. So this is more time for NIP to get items, sure, but it's also more time for EDG to get theirs. You know, again, Vayne scales really well. Ziggs does the same. More tankiness for the Pantheon, who's going to get a GA. So it's a double-edged sword. Giving like these objectives, you also end up giving the individual stats of the Drakes over. So it's not just, oh, we're at soul point, we can just give Drakes infinitely until we're ready to fight. Or at least until the enemy's at soul point. Like, you don't want to be there. You don't want to be in a situation like that. As ZDZ
walking up.
No flash.
He's flashless.
I think he thought there were more people in that brush, because I don't think you need to flash that at all. I think you can tank it and then just walk away. I don't think the Care has enough damage to one-shot you.
Heck, if that's me, I'm saying I'll take this fight. That's fine. I'm a 3-item Vayne. Now am I going to get Guwon on? Perhaps. You know, perhaps that would be a bit of an issue. But for right now, no issues other than a flash down. I do wonder if this means that that's NIP's go button for the next dragon. 4 minutes. So this flash should theoretically still be down, Jbetto.
Yep. Not a lot of catch, though, for this Vayne specifically. Guwon can go in with his R. Obviously, that's not CC.
Yeah, Lux root.
So you're relying on... Yeah, but you're relying on, like, hitting it freehand, essentially. There's no setup that's guaranteed onto the Vayne who's dashing around invisible. There's no Nautilus. There's no Alistar who's going to let you hit a really nice combo. There's no Rel who can flash Magnet Storm. So it's a little bit harder to catch ZDZ. As here comes Pantheon ult.
Pantheon ult, the trap is there. Mega Inferno Bomb does so much damage. Awesome! Desperately trying to get away, but Taser takes him down. EDG hit their go button, and it works this time. They get a kill, and they're going to look to Siege. Forge God knocks up 2 members. Final Spark as well. They're going to just muscle down the turret without any minions, Jbetto. They do not care.
Yep.
They have Leave's ability to take it out. Big, because Assum will respawn with no summoners for the dragon fight.
You can see how this kind of becomes a dive comp with Ziggs. Because his ult goes so far, the Ziggs Rumble can both participate in Pantheons going in. Oftentimes, when you've got like an immobile mage and a mobile top laner, well, I guess it's a mid laner this time, but an immobile bruiser, I'll say, and Pantheon does what, like, Xiaohao does what he just did. The jungler just dies, and there's no follow-up. We see it all the time. But with Rumble Ziggs, that doesn't matter because their ults go so far, especially Leave on this Ziggs. So Assum catches all that damage with both summoners, barely lives, and then Xinyan flashes forward with with Q and E, and ends up taking him down. Not only that, but Cares flashes down as well. Yes, EDG spent some of theirs, but I think that when NIP need to be keeping range, their flashes are way more valuable.
This is true, but for this next dragon fight, Jbetto, they will not be up. Again, EDG has had the penchant for having leads, not being able to keep them. Guwon has been oddly silent throughout this mid-game. Seems like his effectiveness is waning. They're going to look for Xinyan. He's going to go golden, but now the turnaround is there. The equalizer to keep him alive. Final Spark, not doing enough damage. Zhuo is going to slow him up with that ultimate. Assum took a big Mega Inferno Bomb. ZDZ drops his ultimate down. He's looking for a potential flank. In goes Pantheon, but is taken away. Assum survives the spear to the back. NIP trying to absorb the engage, but Care gets taken out. We're seeing a teleport immediately go into the top lane. This might be EDG's moment to start the Baron.
It feels over. Like, this game feels over. NIP can't live through the onslaught of EDG. Every fight is NIP running away as fast as they possibly can. This is the last chance NIP have. If they can secure this Baron.
This is so risky to do a Baron when it's 5v4. They have found Zhuo, 6,000 HP. NIP may have found the angle. Xinyan gonna block that ace in the hole. 4,000 HP and dropping. Maybe NIP want to take a bite of the Baron apple, but both teams will back off. 30 seconds until the dragon is up. Zhuo is not there to provide vision right now. Kara's up in 7 seconds. NIP, we're going to have an opportunity to set up first.
All right. I mean, like you said, this will let NIP in first, as Zhuo won't be up until as the dragon spawns, and Kara's up now with TP. That Phantom Veil will really help, but the issue is that Leaf has his ult up again. Xinyan has his ult up again. I don't see a world in which Assum with no flash can survive this fight.
He's gonna have to try, and you see he's already dealing some damage. Dragon has been started. 5,000 HP and dropping. Care with the Weaver's Wall. Xiaohao gonna be targeted out. He is close to dying. Still alive. Secured by NIP. They took it, they stole it, they took the soul. They get 1 kill. ZDZ looking to end this game right here, but he gets caught by a seismic shove. Zhuo on a Care, still alive. So is Hoya. Double kill for ZDZ, but he goes down. Zhuo dies to a root. 2v2. NIP get the job done. They got the soul, Jbetto. They are still in this game.
They are. I mean, that's massive. Slowing down everybody, the ability haste you get from the individual Drakes, a big boon for NIP. That was a chaotic fight. The wall was really well placed. But after the soul goes down, ZDZ nearly gets into a really, really scary position here. So we'll look back. The wall is great. Zhuo arrives just in time to flank around. Like, this positioning is great. Assum ends up dying on the bottom side of this fight. great secure from Guwon. ZDZ is just spacing enough to avoid all this damage, but as Zhuo goes in, ZDZ has the potential here to really destroy everybody. Has to knock Guwon away, but just goes too far forward that Guwon can do enough damage, so ZDZ falls. It's a bloody fight. 3 for 3, but the soul does go for NIP.
3,000 gold lead for EDG still, and yet NIP still fighting, still kicking with everything that they're worth, which earlier in the series, and many times during the series, wasn't all that much. Jbetto, 35.5 minutes in, and now you've got the poke coming through with the Hextech Soul on top of it. Anytime Zhuo hits somebody with a Lucent Singularity, that E, it's going to deal some damage. They are so close to getting relegated, and yet they are still alive. And I'm feeling good about their chances here, Jbetto. We'll see if they're able to bring it home.
Yep, they need another fight like they had last time. If you're letting Assum catch these ults.
Throw everything at Leave down to below half HP, but still alive for the moment. Assum also looking a little worse for wear here. Siege is there, but Leave can just hit from so far away. Has his teleport as well, so no real danger here.
Okay, so if Leave gets his Rabadons, it's getting scary again. Assum just can't seem to get away from these ults. Even with like his net, even with Flash, he can't seem to get away. But we have gone over that part. Okay, another Gathering Storm game. So this is really important. Assum's on 4 items now. With Gathering Storm, if he can get to 6 items plus boots, he will one-shot everybody because there's no real tank. There is a Leona, Pantheon can put up a shield, sure, but Assum is going to become the main character of NIP's draft. He will do so much damage eventually, but so will Leave. Leave has Rabadon soon. He might also have Gathering Storm on his Comet, on his Sorcery Tree. But if Assum can't stop getting hit by these Mega Inferno bombs, the fights are still going to look really hard.
What's a fella to do? He can't just get a 3rd Summoner spell, Jbetto. I mean, I don't know what you want from him.
Someone spare him a 3rd Summoner spell, please. He needs 2 flashes. What's that? Aram Mayhem or Arena Augment? Flashy, we get 3 charges of Flash?
Yeah, it's the Aram Mayhem one. Certainly does. Not all the CS in the world will be able to get him there, although he is farming up a Storm right now in an effort to get himself situated with his items. We have 2 minutes until another Elder, Jbetto. How many Elders have we seen this series?
I think if you're NIP, too many. Definitely unhappy about how that last one went.
I think if you're both teams, honestly, a little too many. I don't know if I ever really want to see an Elder because it means
They're going for the TP. They're going for the TP. They're going to kill this.
Leave.
No, they didn't make it.
Away. It was so close. I like the look there. They did not get a Xiaohao. 1 auto attack from Assum. Does nearly half of his HP. This is the part of the game that you were worried about if you're EDG. Letting NIP get to this point. Again, the door has just continuously been open. And NIP are busting it down. Here's NIP. Call the Forge God coming through as they're looking for more. ZDZ's gone golden. ZDZ on the side, looking for care. Pushed him in the ultimate, but they found ZDZ on the backside. Oh, they Assum netted into a bad spot. And all of a sudden, things are falling apart for NIP. Final Spore coming through. Guwon trying to escape. He'll be able to hop out of there, but a huge fight for EDG.
That might be it. ZDZ might have just done enough. He goes into the backline and completely destroys everybody. Creates chaos around the fight, and then the range damage from EDG goes in. Hoya hasn't based yet. He's trying to hold the waves.
Yeah, there's one
cannon's
left.
Enough though.
Guwon's got to smite it. Guwon's got to get in there and smite it. They're going to final spark it. It's still alive. First turret's falling. The TP is going to land. Ultimate down on Obsidian. Here we go. Next is exposed. This is the chance. EDG, ZDC, exhausted, still alive, goes down. Oh my goodness. They try to end the game, and they can't, Jbetto. EDG stumbles at the finish. Quadra kill for Guwon.
Oh my god. Hoya doesn't have TP, so the game isn't over. But maybe it is 40 seconds on everybody. There is a TP. Cares going for it.
They're trying to end the game right now, Jbetto. EDG desperately wanted to end the game. NIP held the line, defended hard, got the exhaust, and may have just gotten the job done. The inhibitor is still alive, but it's falling. Zhuo is up. Zhuo in a dream against a huge wave and 3 members of NIP. He's on top of Care, but it just doesn't matter, Jbetto. He doesn't have the time to stall for leave. The second Nexus turret has fallen. They call the Forge God just for show and throwing it into the base. Somehow, some way, NIP force game 5.
Take me to Silver Scrapes, baby. Oh my god. I thought that was it. I thought EDG, they take down Assum. What an amazing flank from ZDZ. And Hoya's getting the wave. There's one cannon. Guwon quadra kill at the end. And the wave in top is set up so the game ends on the spot. What a start to our Sunday.
Dude, you are kidding me right now, Jbetto. I can't believe that we've gone to game 5. I really thought they had it. And they just got too aggressive. But I think they knew you're playing with fire if you just allow them, hey, one more fight. You allow NIP one more fight. You're playing with fire. They saw the opportunity to go and try to end the game. They took an opportunity to go end the game, and they were so damn close, Jbetto, but they could not get it done. Again, they left the door open just a crack, and NIP busted it down.
The ninjas, they're ready. If you close your eyes for 1 second, they're behind you.
They're not sneaking in. They're going forward. This is exactly what's happening. Oh my goodness. How did this game happen this way? I'm knocking my camera all over the place, man. We are going to game 5 in a series where, frankly, NIP is down 4-0.
Yeah. EDG just cannot close these games out, and that one felt done. What, a 4 or 5v3 at the end? And one of them's an Ornn, and Guwon just kills everybody in front of the Nexus and exposed the Nexus too. Unbelievable clutch from the NIP side. Unbelievable. Oh my
goodness, dude. I don't even... who do you give MVP to, right? Like,
to us.
Yes, honestly. I mean, to everybody watching as well. Y'all are the real MVP for... I mean, y'all are getting a treat with this series. Listen, it might not be the cleanest League of Legends you've ever seen, but it's fun. And remember, League of Legends is a game, and it's meant to be fun. And if you ain't enjoying this, I don't know what the hell you're going to enjoy in your life. Jbetto, MVP talks. Is it?
For me?
All right. Maybe, dude, I don't know. I
think it's between Guwon or Assum. Assum did a lot of carrying towards getting NIP back in the game, but again, he died and Guwon quadra killed, and I feel like it's got to be Guwon.
I feel like it has to be too, because in some of these fights, he was just doing ridiculous amounts of damage. There is a bit of a worry here, Jbetto. NIP did not execute their comp well. Like, they did not. They did not get the Kate Lux going. You obviously had the deficit in the top lane. That's not Hoya's fault. Absolved of blame. Care did not have a great game either, but this was the game where NIP was like, we've drafted our strong lanes, we got our jungler on his best champion. This is the game where we go and smack EDG in the mouth, right? And what did it result in? At 16 and a half minutes, when they're typically down 1,500 gold in this series, the gold is even. They should have been up 1,500 to 2,000 gold. And they weren't, and that's what really concerns me. You know what else is really concerning, Jbetto? What the hell do these guys have in their back pockets now? Because we have 4 games of Fearless. That's 40 champions gone.
Man, Leave did so much. Every Mega Look at that gold graph, dude.
Again, the most LPL gold graph of all time. Jbetto, you've been here long enough to know.
Holy Jesus. It's awesome. NIP ended up getting the Hextech Soul, which, you know, it doesn't even feel like at the time it's doing enough to really pull NIP back into the conversation. ZDZ feels untouchable, leaves ult, so just destroying Assum. That fight, to me, was the end. And they can't end the game.
It should have been over. It should have been over. For all intents and purposes, we knew. We were like, yep, that's it, man. And you know what? Credit to Hoya for what he did. pulling the wave was actually relevant there. It was huge. And then he just got back in time. It was absolutely perfect. Oh my goodness. Listen, Guwon's got 100% KP.
That's unbelievable. That's ridiculous.
It just has to be him. Hoya did so much this game too, though, especially for the situation he was in. I don't know, man. You could give MVP to anybody. Honestly, you can give MVP to Exhaust. Yeah, it's got to be Hoya and his Exhaust, right? He exhausted ZDZ, and that was the difference. That was the difference in auto attacks.
I'm giving MVP to
Summoner
Unsealed
Spellbook.
Spellbook. Yeah, Unsealed Spellbook.
It used to be hella OP, and now it's only somewhat OP.
What a...
You know what? Just give it to
Game
Hoya.
1,
Just give it to Hoya because
Hoya's
done so much this series.
This series
Just
has
give
been
it to him every
unbelievable.
game.
I mean, he did this. There must have been no smite.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
This was a long game. It's been a long series, to be fair. A lot of trying to find picks, a lot of mistakes from both teams. NIP making majority of those mistakes until the very end, and sometimes it's that last mistake that really costs you. Awesome, not even in the center of these bombs. If he's ever actually in the center of these bombs, he dies instantly. But this is where, to me, the game was done. Because there is nothing NIP can do. They are constantly running away. This is the fight that gave NIP Soul after they picked Zhuo, who made a mistake around Baron that was directly after that play. Really good smite from Guwon. And then the following fight was also incredibly close. And Guwon sacrifices himself yet again in a team fight to take down ZDZ so that his team can go even in the fight, because ZDZ continues to pop off if he doesn't die here.
Yeah.
I want to see this last fight. I want to see this push. So this is an attempt in mid.
This is
ZDZ
it.
goes
This
in
is
and look, he like insects. Look, he flash condemns. Awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
Into his team.
Okay. I thought maybe he netted the wrong way. No, that's just a great play by ZDZ. I mean, here we go. Here's the end. This minion is still alive. A teleport is coming in. This minion is still alive. It is now dead, but the turrets are down. So so Hoya just knocks up everybody and then immediately exhausts ZDZ.
Yep.
And Sinyan can't get in because he drops the volcanic shard. I can't remember what the name of the actual ability is. In between the turrets, and then body blocks the other spot. So Sinyan can't even get in with overheated auto attacks. Holy, that was... If there is ever as much skill expression as you could express on an Ornn, it was probably in that fight.
Yep. Well played. I think Hoya's done his work in this series so far. I still personally think you got to give it to Guwon for quadra killing at the end. Also, that smite's like secure at Sol. Very impactful. Very important. I did say in draft that I wanted to see a lot out of Guwon. He needs to kind of have a nuclear game. And through the majority of the early game, it was a bit quiet. Really came alive the longer the game went on. But I think that NIP, it's a hard call for anyone because nobody had a perfect game for NIP that game.
No. But you know what? Sometimes, Jbetto, you just do what needs to be done. It's Hoya getting the MVP. Doesn't matter that he's down 2,500 gold. You know what matters is that NIP has another W in the win column, Jbetto. Somehow, some way, despite all odds, with EDG playing 99% of these games better, NIP has tied up the series. And with that, I think a well-earned break for the both of us. Cue up Silver Scrapes!